Welcome back to Honest to Goodness. I'm your host, Kerri, along with my co-host, Morgan. Tonight, we're just going to be giving you kind of our feelings on season 9 of When Calls the Heart. But before we do that, slight commercial here. I got news today. If y'all have been around for a little while, you might remember that last year I went to the When Calls the Heart musical. It was a Hardee's VIP weekend in Napanee, Indiana. It was absolutely incredible. Loved it so much. And I even got to interview Christy Stutzman, who created it. Well, there is going to be another Hardee's VIP weekend this year. It's going to be June the 24th and 25th. So be sure you get your reservations for that. I'm planning to be there, and I'm trying to drag this girl along with me.
I am very much hoping to go. Obviously, just like everyone else, you have to take into consideration, like, putting in time notice to the job and, that and money stuff, obviously. But I would love to go because, like, I was actually able to convince Kerri to try and vlog, which is something she has never done before. And I have to say, we have a vlog video and she did pretty good.
Well, thank you.
I think you did good. So her vlog and her interview with Christy was definitely something that convinced me that it would be a good thing to go to and like spend money on.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, if any of you would like to go and try this out, and maybe you're just not completely convinced that it's worth the money, go check out those videos. I'm telling you, it's a really cool experience. Especially if you're someone who loves musicals. Like I love musicals.
Yeah.
So yeah, and being able to see the behind the scenes stuff, which I think you guys have heard us say many, many times on this podcast that we love. We probably love behind the scenes stuff more than we actually love like the actual movies or TV shows. Like I know we're kind of backwards. I think you guys already know we're kind of backwards. We kind of like the behind the scenes stuff, but you know what? We're honest about it. So
yep. But yeah, it was an incredible experience. And one thing that was fun for me was actually the fact that there were a couple of people that recognized me from our podcast. When we did that, I was thinking
you called me.
Yeah, I remember. I was thinking this year we need to get some T-shirts made up. Just says "Honest to Goodness" on it, and just see if anybody.
Yeah, that'd be cute.
That would be hilarious. Like that would be so fun.
That would be cute. Though I feel like people will probably recognize our names more for Hope Valley Central Station, but still, hopefully by then. Well, hopefully by then, because that's like June, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully by then, everybody kind of sees us as Honest to Goodness. But hey, either way.
Yep.
But I thought that was so cool. You FaceTime me and you were telling me that, and I'm like, wow, that's unreal. That's unreal.
We're celebrities now.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, totally.
Oh man. But getting back to main topic, now that the commercial's over, we just wanted to come on and share our thoughts and feelings moving forward into season 9 of When Calls the Heart, because we all know that, okay, disclaimer here, because I'm sure we have some Team Lucas people that are listening to us. Morgan and I.
Welcome, first of all.
Yes.
Welcome to our podcast.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Morgan and I have been Team Nathan since day one. Like, we just love Nathan to death. And Kevin, like we love Kevin, we love Nathan, we love Kevin and anything we've seen him in. Like, we're a little obsessed here. And we love Chris too, but we just have a really soft spot in our hearts for Kevin, not gonna lie. But that it's not that we hate Lucas. I want to make that point very clear. And if you have listened to our podcast from the time we were Hope Valley Central Station, we have made that point clear from day one. We do not hate Lucas. We just do not honestly feel that Lucas was written to be the leading man. However, that is how it went. Congratulations. Just please stop using that Luca Beth thing, because it makes me want to puke every time I hear it. I'm sorry.
But here's the thing. I've never liked people like mashing other people's names together, because I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Like, not everybody's names fit together right.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's like, oh, well, if their names don't do a cute little thing, then they don't need to be together. Like, I've actually seen people comment stuff like that, oh, they're not meant to be because like their names don't mash together right. And it's like, me, I feel like people are putting too much into it, and it's like I'm not gonna go around and be like, oh yeah, we're team so and so, like me and my like future boyfriend. Like, I just feel like that's gonna be weird.
Yeah.
But that, like, again, like we've said many times before, this is just our preference.
Mm-hmm.
But backpacking on what she said, I think Chris is a phenomenal actor. I think that I hope that now that he is now our leading man, that he really is able to grow, and that we're able to see not only Chris grow, but obviously Lucas too.
Yeah. I will
like she said,
the Lucas I saw in season 8 was the Lucas I had been wanting to see since season 6.
Yeah.
It's like, if you had been giving me this all 3 seasons, I would have been way more on board for this.
No, so, I completely agree, because like me and you, like we've said in the beginning, we're very much behind the scenes people. We both have dabbled in writing, her more than me. She's literally been on sets. She's been there with the writing process. She's been there with the camera process, all that kind of stuff like that. So when you've got that experience, you know that them claiming that they didn't have someone from the very beginning to be like, they didn't have Nathan or Lucas picked from the beginning. I'm sorry. If they did, that's just plain bad writing.
Mm-hmm.
If they didn't, and they're lying, and they've been, and it has been picked from day one, but they end up switching, that's cool. Whatever. Bad way to do a show,
Yeah.
But, I'm heartbroken as a Nathan person, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But like we've said on here and different ones, we're trying to give season 9 an actual chance.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, to disclaimer to all you Lucas fans, like, we love Chris, we love Lucas, we see the potential. We've obviously we see the little chemistry. Like, for instance, one of my favorite scenes of season 8 was him and Allie at the bar in the saloon.
I love that scene so much. That was heart melting.
That was if you would have shown me that Lucas, at least in season 7, maybe I kind of like the mysterious side of him whenever we first met him in season 6. Yeah. I'm fine with the way that they handled him in season 6, if I'm going to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Season 7, that should have been in there. Yeah. That kind of situation should have been in there, because that was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It showed the softer side of him while also getting us to know a little bit more about who he is, and how he grew up.
Mm-hmm.
And showed him that he's not just all about money and being able to pull things and be able to pull things out and fix problems with money and success and having a name that means something. You know what I mean? And I like that. I like that he got down to Allie's level too, and was able to really comfort her and help her with her emotions. Because as a teenager, it's kind of hard to get through to a teenager when they're having like these big almost like adult feelings, and they don't know what to do with it. Yeah. So I'm actually glad that Lucas was the one that really got through to Allie and helped her. Right. Not saying that Nathan didn't or anybody else. Just I really loved that scene. So I'm hoping that we get more scenes in season 9 like that one.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think Team Lucas people, you are welcome. I promise.
Yeah. But I think the one thing that I can see. Okay, I'm trying to like weigh my words very carefully here, because I feel like no matter what I say, it's going to be a trigger to somebody at this point, because the Hardys are still just so divided. So I'm like trying to be honest.
It is hard,
but I'm also trying to be respectful to the feelings of both sides. So I feel like one thing that I'm seeing a lot of Hardys, and mainly Team Nathan, kind of blow up about right now is they're not happy with the changes that are coming. They're not happy with the new poster because Kevin and Pascal and Jack Wagner are not on this poster. It's literally Lucas, Elizabeth, Nathan, and the new character that we haven't even met yet, Mei Su. Yeah, played by Amanda Wong. So it's like there's nobody else pictured on the cover, and they don't like that. They don't like that this is now centered around these people. And I get that. I feel your frustration. I 100% do. But we're hitting what? Close to the 1920s?
At this point? I think the last poster we saw, like that was a part of the graduation where Robert graduated. I think it said 1918. So I think we're 2 years away from it being the 20s.
Yeah. So we're about to be seeing.
And I'm sure we're probably going to be seeing them going into 1919 this year. If they had, like, depending, like, because obviously, like Aaron Craig said, time moves very fluidly in Hope Valley. You don't know what time it is. You kind of have to go based on like props, clothing, things like that to really guess where you are in time.
Right.
So that's the only, but I mean, going into the 20s.
So I mean, I will agree. I think the hot air balloon is a little over the top. No pun intended. But at the same time, we are about hitting 1920, so we're going to start seeing a lot of changes come to Hope Valley, and people don't want that. I'm just going to be honest. People are set in their ways. This is a comfort show that they love being set in the early 1900s, and they're not going to want to see this progress happen because it's stealing part of the innocence of it. I 100% get that. But at the same time, I feel like that is why they went with Lucas versus Nathan, because Lucas is going to be the easier one to move that progress, to move forward. If they were going to keep the show how a lot of us would love it, they would have picked Nathan, because it would have kept it more homey and frontier and whatever, rather than Hope Valley building up into a city. More of a city than just this little coal town, that it used to be. So
no, I fully agree, because if you think about it, think about the clips that we've just gotten released to us about season 9. For instance, one of our favorite clips that we've seen between Jack and Kevin, where it's like, are you giving up your horse? No. Are you giving up your horse? No. So that conversation alone tells you that progress is coming even to the Mounties. Like Nathan is still stuck in Frontierland. He's not happy with the fact that they were practically forcing him to learn how to drive and do all of that. He doesn't, so I feel like that was kind of a thing that kind of showed you where, just another reason to show you just how different Nathan and Lucas are, is that, Nathan is stuck in his ways, and Lucas is definitely more open to change and more opportunities and things like that. So again, I agree. That's probably another reason why they went Lucas's way instead of Nathan's way. But I think I agree also, is that,
excuse me,
you
I'm gonna have to go get more because I can't find them nowhere.
Okay.
That was a brand new bag.
Did you look in the back seat underneath the car seats?
Under the car seat. I looked.
Like in the.
I looked. You got diapers out and brought them in to my friends. So I don't know.
Okay.
I just know I gotta find them.
Okay.
Well, I can't. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do with them?
I don't know, Mom. How are we gonna edit that out?
We're not.
Great. That's great.
Well, I mean, we said from the start we don't edit our podcast.
Well, you guys just saw a conversation between me and my mom about my niece's diapers that have apparently gone missing. So
yeah.
Anyways,
so
as I was saying,
welcome to our world of trying to record podcasts.
Guys, I swear, it doesn't happen like this.
Yeah, this is why sometimes we don't end up with episodes every week, because it's
never ending. It's always something either on my side. Very rarely is it on Kerri's side. I will say it's most of the time on me. Because
last weekend it was a combination. I will tell this story because it was actually kind of funny. We were going to record last Saturday, and she had a church thing come up, so she wasn't able to make it. And we're like, okay, don't worry about it. I
felt so bad at first. I was totally willing to get rid of it and
it was all good. But I took that opportunity to start a classics podcast that I've been wanting to start. And then, so we were going to record after church Sunday morning. And then I found out at church that I'm going to be singing that night at a service we're having. So I've got to be at church that afternoon for practice and whatever. So I'm like, sorry, my so it was like.
It worked out for me because I got to go home and I took a nap.
Yep. So, yeah. So cheers with my water to our efforts.
Dr. Pepper, sponsor us.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway. As I was saying, my mom kindly interrupted us. At least he was nice about it. She didn't just come in here and just be like, hey. Anyways. Mm-hmm. Okay, like you said, like you're going into the 20s, the roaring 20s. Okay, everybody knows about the Roaring 20s. Okay, that's major change between what we've been seeing in Hope Valley versus what we know. You know, I'm not saying that Hope Valley is going to turn into the Great Gatsby. Okay, I'm not saying that. I hope they don't. Yeah. But you are going to get some elements of that. You know, it's not going to be like a city because it's still a small little frontier town, and you're still going to feel that. But your main characters, like I feel like, you know, Lucas and Elizabeth have enough of the city life in them to bring that, along with Pascal and even Lee. They have enough of that city-like manner. They know what it's like to be in the city. They know what it's like to do, you know, things that when
even Faith and Fiona, like all these.
You've got a lot of different characters. It's not just, a lot of people always kind of bash about the fact. One thing I do not agree with, a lot of people like to say that Lucas flaunts his money and that Lucas flaunts his city life. Lucas is not the only character that has come through Hope Valley doing that. Lee has done it. Pascal has done it a ton in her wardrobe alone.
She's done it since she stepped off that stage.
Exactly. So I'm just saying, like, I am excited about that part. I'm excited to see what Lucas and the other characters of Hope Valley are going to bring to this smaller frontier. Like, Elizabeth could bring her own stuff. Her daddy's well off. You know, who knows what she might bring, you know? We don't know. But, you know, one thing about this thing, and like a lot of other shows, you're going to get new people. You're going to get new storylines. You're going to have change, especially when it comes to a time era like this. Yeah, you're gonna see a shifting when it comes to period dramas. That's just how things are.
I think the main thing that concerns me right now, honestly, I feel like they're gonna have to be really, really careful with how they handle this. I've referred to season 8 as the new season 2 because when season 2 was airing, I, along with a lot of other people, hated it. Passion.
It was a completely different. It was like a completely different show almost.
Yes,
in a lot of senses. Yeah,
but there is a lot of good in season 2 that when you go back and watch it, like the bad or the part you didn't like is so ingrained in your head that when you go back and rewatch it, you're like, oh yeah, that's when this happened. Or
exactly, because I see a lot of edits. I see a lot of edits of very important moments between Elizabeth and Jack. And like, I'll go back and I'm like, oh my God, that happened in season 2.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like, wow, I thought that was like in season 3 or season 4 or even season 1. It's like, no, it was season 2.
So I have a feeling season 8 is going to be a lot like that. But the thing that's concerning me here is a reason a lot of people hated season 2 so bad is because it focused so much around Hamilton. It wasn't focused on Hope Valley, really. It was the city. Elizabeth was completely different. Let's just say Elizabeth went back to being her Hamilton self in season 8.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but she did. And literally in season 9, when season 9 picks up, she's going to be coming back. She's going to have just gotten back from Hamilton.
Yeah, that says that in synopsis.
Yeah. So it's like, I hope they handle this well. I have high hopes for season 9. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I have really high hopes for season. Well, I won't say really high hopes. Just high hopes.
I
have hope.
Yeah. I have hope. I have hope, and I'm definitely like holding on to that little bit of hope that I do have. I guess because, like, I'm not gonna lie, like I had PTSD with this season, just like a lot of other people do.
Oh yeah.
I'm very worried about how they're gonna handle things. Just like
I have my leg under me, and my foot was starting to go to sleep, so I was trying to slap.
Okay. But I was guys, I'm telling you, like before we even started, we had so much trouble even coming out and saying, you know, welcome back to Hope. See, I just did it.
I literally went, what's the name of our podcast again?
You literally said that. You asked me that, yeah, because we were like, both of us were trying to say like Hope Valley Central Station instead of welcome back to Honest to Goodness.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I'm literally crying right now.
Yeah. But as I was saying, they do like I'm worried about it because it's like, you know, I think everyone could agree that if you go back to our predictions and us talking about the episodes and what we predict is going to happen next, all of our predictions were just about wrong. The only things that we got right was Nathan's secret. Trying to think. I think that was the only thing we got right.
Possibly. So if you want any predictions for season 9, take what we say and go the opposite. Because
like, take it with a grain of salt. Okay. Yeah. Take it with a grain of salt. So basically, I'm coming in here very like I'm definitely not going to take. I'm trying not to take how I felt about just the finale.
Yeah.
Into season 9.
Yeah.
I'm trying to take the entire season and take it with me into season 9 because I think that's a lot about everyone else's problem and it's justified. It's hard to do that. Like I'm struggling to do that because of things that we know for a fact behind the scenes were happening and different things like that. So anyways, as I was saying, I'm trying to take the whole season in season 9. But I also have to take into consideration, like Kerri said, you're fixing to go into a whole new decade, a whole new century, a whole new era. And that's going to come with a lot of change. You now have your main character no longer a widow. She's now dating someone who is completely opposite of her now late husband. She has a child. You also have like a couple of the characters running for mayor. So we're going to have a new mayor. You know, Hickam is bringing in new stuff with the pipelining that he's doing. Lee's obviously still working hard with his mill and lumber and all that. And now Rosemary has a newspaper. Like there's a lot of change even in just those little stuff.
Yeah.
That's, you know, so those things, especially the newspaper and the new mayoral election, that alone is going to cause a shift. It's going to bring some attention to this town.
I don't see how I will say this, and I may have it wrong. So again, our predictions have not been on track. I don't see how Lee is not going to become the mayor, but who knows?
Honestly, I think it's going to be either Lee. I think it's going to be Lee. I want to say it's going to be Lee. The reason why I don't think it's Bill is because Bill is perfect as the judge.
Yeah.
Sorry. He's perfect as a judge. I'm not saying he wouldn't be good as a mayor, but just as a judge, I just love him because obviously, like, him and Nathan are perfect. But I think a lot of it is because of Kevin and Jack, and we just know those two and how they are behind the scenes. It just makes it even better. But also, like, that's a perfect combination for Lee to be mayor and Rosemary to be over the paper. Like, that's just the perfect combination because it will add a bunch of angst and like problems, but it can also cause for great moments too of them being together and being a team.
Well, and it just depends on how much they go off of what they wrote in season 8. But in season 8, they pretty much had it where Lee was trying to find what's his calling.
Right, exactly. We never found his calling.
Where he's feeling dissatisfied in life and whatever, and what's his calling, and to run.
Which I mean, I know that he was kind of dabbling in the wood stuff, and we know for a fact there's a certain Mountie who knows how to whittle some wood. So that'd be kind of a cool friendship. I want Lee and Nathan to have somewhat of a little connection in season 9 too. But I do hope that
to see poor Lucas get some friends.
Me too. 9. I was just about to say that. I was just about to say that.
That is still one of my favorite.
But if you think about it, Nathan doesn't necessarily have like friends.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it just comes. I think the reason that you see a lot of him mingling and talking to people is because he's the Mountie of the town.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what a lot. If you think about it, like, look at like the sheriffs in your town or different people like that who hold like a pretty big name in the towns. Like they know a lot of people in the town. A lot of people gravitate to them and talk to them. So I feel like it's kind of like that for Nathan. Yeah. So I would like both of them to actually have friendship.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I will say this because I don't think I said my opinion about the poster. I agree with Kerri. I think that one, it sets the tone for this being, hey, this is a change.
Yeah.
This is like a warning to you guys that we are changing. But I actually love the poster.
I do
miss Lee and Rosemary on it and Jack and different ones like that. I do miss them on it. It does kind of worry me that Maysu is already on it and we don't even know about her character. That does make me a little suspicious of that. Mainly because it's like, that kind of feels like a spoiler because it makes it feel like she's a very important character.
That's a little sus, Hallmark. It's a little sus.
It's a little sus. A little sus, okay? Makes me a little worried because it's like, okay, do I need to get attached to this character or do I need to be hesitant here?
Yeah. I don't even know. Like, I don't even know.
Because a lot of people are thinking, like, for instance, now that we know that Paul Green, with an E, extra E, our precious Carson, is saying that he is going to come back to When Calls the Heart. Before we got that news, a lot of people, including myself, were kind of worried, like, okay, are they going to put Nathan and Faith together? Because the last scene that we got of Nathan for the season was him being patched up by Faith.
Yeah,
and they kind of had a little bit of
just a quick interjection there, y'all. The where we got the information that Carson, Paul Green, as Carson did say that he would come back, was an article by Parade.
That they did with Paul.
Yes, so that was
it's a valid source.
Yeah, they said that Paul had said this like on a Facebook Live or YouTube Live, one of his videos that he did, that he had said that he would be coming back. So this is how we got this information. Just for anybody going, where did you hear that? So that's
sorry.
Yes. No, you're good. You're totally good.
Yeah. No, because like I think it's pretty obvious that he didn't come, that he was leaving. And wasn't going to be here for season 9 because his wife just had a precious baby boy. So congratulations to Paul and his lovely wife. He's precious. I've seen pictures. He's absolutely adorable. But I am excited to hear that Carson is going to come back.
Yeah.
Now, but here's the thing. We can't automatically assume that means Faith and Carson are going to get back together.
This is true.
So don't automatically assume that those two are going to get together and that it's not going to be Nathan and Faith. I'm just saying that does kind of shift some stuff. I really hope they don't do another triangle.
The best advice I think we could give y'all going into season 9 is assume nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
Zilch.
Especially, yeah. Assume nothing. That's gonna be our new like motto for this whole season. Yeah. Assume nothing.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, like, you know, about Mei Su, I like seeing those clips and stuff like that. I was like, it is interesting, but I will say this, I guess because he was in uniform and I just know we know the difference. Like, I don't know if anybody else caught on this, but like Nathan has like a completely different confidence whenever he's in his citizen clothes and whenever he's in the Red Surge. Whenever he was walking up to Mei Su and everything, and the way he spoke to her in the saloon when she was coming down the stairs screamed Mountie business to me for some reason. Now, like I said, assume nothing. Don't automatically take this and run with it. But it did make me kind of wonder, like, okay, is this business or is this actually pleasure or is it both? Like, what if it starts out as business and starts turning into pleasure? Or, you know, I actually think that would be really interesting.
Well, I remember you commenting if this would be another AJ Foster.
I would love that. I would love that. The only problem I see that with that actually working is because of Allie. I feel like Nathan would be very cautious because of Allie. That would be the only wrench in that story, if she was like that. Plus, I feel like Bill would automatically pack in on that and be like, no, run. Are you in? Run. But like I was saying, like, you know, it's just a lot.
Right.
The new poster, the trailer wasn't even the same. Like, there wasn't a whole lot of like scenes of other characters. A lot of it was of Elizabeth and Lucas and Nathan and Mei Su, and a little bit of Lee, a little bit of Rosemary and Lee, and like a little bit of Jack. And I think one little small thing of like the entire, of course, small clips of the actual entire town, like probably in the square and different things like that. But like overall, the majority of the trailer was that.
Yeah.
Of those 4 people. So I can understand why people are kind of getting a little frustrated because it's like, well, it's as if they don't even care about the other people in the town.
Well, and we know some like
and they're adding new people.
Yeah, they're taking out like Clara and Jesse aren't there.
Which we don't know. I will say this disclaimer, we don't know if the actors themselves did not want to return or if Hallmark themselves did not want the characters to return. Yeah. That's the only big question that's kind of looming over our heads. And who knows, it might have been a mutual decision.
Yeah.
So
who knows? I don't know. But no, I mean, I will say they have made me want to watch.
Yeah.
Literally the only time I get triggered. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say it. Literally the only time I get triggered. I can watch Lucas and Elizabeth together and go, they are so cute. I didn't hate the finale. Like, literally, I did not. Like, watching Lucas and Elizabeth together in the finale, I remember, we've talked about this multiple times. We recorded our reactions. And I remember just being like, this is so sweet. Like, you know, whatever, except for the stinking candles. I have on my Team No Candles shirt.
The only problem I had was that I feel like they were, like, the kissing wasn't that great. I will say that.
It was terrible.
Terrible. No chemistry whatsoever.
I do not.
But the concept that was there was there. I could see what they were trying to do, and it was sweet.
Yeah.
So yeah, but like you, no candles. I don't have my shirt because I don't even have one. I still gotta buy a shirt. I didn't even buy one of our own shirts yet.
We need to like redo our whole website and whatever. We'll deal with that. But anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
But literally the only thing besides the candles that triggers me, Luca Beth, really? Like, that makes me want to puke every time. I've
never liked couple names. I've never liked people, like, some names are cute. Some names are cute together, but Luca Beth?
I don't even remember there being one for Nathan and Elizabeth, though.
There wasn't.
Team Nathan, which shows you how much we just love Nathan.
It was like either Team Nathan Grant or Team Nathan or Team Mountie or, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
or hashtag the Grant family.
That much. It's not.
But also, like, I love the hashtag the Grant family because it added Allie into that too. I loved that too.
That was very precious.
Yeah, it was mainly that stuff. It was never like, what would even be their name? Like Nathabeth, Elizabethan, Elizabethan, or whatever. Like, or I don't even know. And there are people out there. They're like, oh well, if they don't have good names that will match together, then they aren't meant to be. Like, excuse me.
Now I will interject something here. Just funny story that my brother and his wife, both their names start with an M. So when they found out they were pregnant with their first child, their pregnancy announcement had the hashtag M&M's first mini. Because the little
I remember you telling me this.
Yes, and her sister had created this little thing for her and literally had scattered like little mini M&Ms over the board to create the announcement. Well, the one guy I've ever been in love with, both of our names started with a K. So my mom's joke, Kit Kat. I was like, what would happen if we have kids? Kit Kat's first break? That don't sound good. Like, I'm sorry, but that just doesn't work. But what is funny about that is Kit Kats were my favorite growing up. Like, that was
I love Kit Kats. Yeah.
Yeah. I still love them. Now I love Reese's more, but still. But just a little funny story there about the little cute couple names or whatever. But yeah, that's the one thing that bothers me. Like I said, I do not have a problem with Lucas and Elizabeth together. The problem I had with it in season 8 was how they went about it. It wasn't them, it was how they went about it.
Yeah.
And I will say they are making me want to watch season 9, which I already had planned to. I said this like from the finale. Show me what you had in mind. I want to see what you had in mind when you made this decision. Like, I don't know, maybe because I'm a writer. That I have this inquisitive mind of, okay, where are you going with this? Like, I want to see where this is going.
Yeah, because I mean, I will say this, like, I just don't see them making such a huge risk in choosing the businessman over the Mountie without there being something really concrete. Huh?
What is the feedback I'm hearing right now? It sounds like a buzzing or something. I don't know. I'm not hearing it right.
Well, I mean, I do have twin nieces in the living room and they're playing Cocomelon.
No, that's not it. It's like it's literally like a buzz or something. I don't know what
I don't know. Is
Sorry
it near
if y'all
you?
are hearing.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I think you guys are pretty used to us constantly having technical difficulties. So I think you guys have learned to just drown it out by now. Yeah. At least I hope so. Don't let it, No, I guess I felt the same way because, like, that's a pretty big thing to do whenever the biggest thing about the show was about, this young school teacher and a Mountie.
Mm-hmm.
That was how the story was. It was how the books were. Right. It's how Jeanette Oakes wrote it. And I don't care what she says. Mounties are not out.
No.
Okay. No. Yeah. Second of all, there just wasn't enough concrete evidence to support their relationship.
Right.
In the whole 3 seasons, there was nothing really concrete. Like, yeah, they had cute moments. I'm not saying they didn't have cute moments and they didn't have somewhat of chemistry. But when you do a triangle, you're going to have people comparing the 2 men or the 2 women that are in that triangle. And I'm sorry, but Nathan had concrete evidence out the wazoo.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that saying, like I said, sorry, Lucas and Lucas people. I'm not saying this to kind of like bash Lucas. I'm just saying this is the writers, well, not necessarily even the writers, but honestly, I blame the CEO more than anyone for this. So what I'm saying is like, okay, whatever happened, whether it's a flip of the script, whatever, you guys went into that writing room. Y'all went and gathered everybody up, or however y'all did it to kind of get this switch done, or like, okay, Lucas is our guy. Woohoo! How are we going to convince them that he's the guy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what's like her. That's what's making me want to watch season 9. Like, what is it? Like, and how much of the, and like, another thing that kind of worries me is that I don't want them to change Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily want them to change Elizabeth.
The growth in Lucas.
Yes, I want to see him like, I want to see him like how Elizabeth changed.
Yeah.
She didn't change, but she grew. She got out of this. Yeah, she adapted to what she was being thrown into.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, she got out of this city-like mind, this, you know, princess, you know, daddy's girl, you know, which she wasn't even really like anyways. Like, I know Jack messed with her a lot about that, but like, she really wasn't that much of a princess.
Yeah.
But anyways, just like, I don't think Lucas is that much of a prince or that much of a rich dude. Mm-hmm. Because whenever he throws money around, he's doing it to help other people. Mm-hmm. He's not doing it for himself. He's doing it for other people. Mm-hmm. He's not throwing his name around. He's not doing a bunch of that. Like, yeah, of course, like anyone, he introduces himself as Lucas Bichard. But I mean, in a frontier town, it's not going to hold that much weight because, you know. Mm-hmm. But anyways, like, I want to see him grow the way that Elizabeth did. Mm-hmm. You know, not change who he is, but just adapt to where he's at. Mm-hmm. You know, and he can still wear a suit. He can still do that. Like, Lee wears a suit. Mm-hmm. Bill even wears a suit. Mm-hmm. Nathan has worn a suit. Mm-hmm. So, like, I don't want him to. I actually like the suit on Lucas. Mm-hmm. And I did see in some of the clips where he's in a Henley and suspenders. And a lot of people have even picked up on that. And they're like, that's Nathan's look. It's like, no. Plenty of people in that town, including Bill, Jack, I think even Jesse, and just different males in the town wore Henleys and suspenders.
And I don't think it's just like to see Lucas relax a little.
Yeah.
And become at home to finally make this his home.
Yeah.
And not just this is where he's at. Like,
right. Like, this is his home now. He needs to adjust in certain ways. Yeah. Not completely changing himself, but like, you know, it doesn't really completely make sense for him to wear like full-on leisure suits and fancy shoes in a frontier town all the time. You know.
I think
but like when he's actually doing stuff like outside and like, you know, getting dirty, doesn't make sense for him to be in a suit.
Right. Well, I mean, the clip that we were seeing where he's like working on the motorcycle or something, he's in suspenders and whatever. And Elizabeth's walking up to Chris. Looks pretty cute in that scene. I'm like,
he does.
Like, he looks adorable. He looks very natural in that.
And like whenever he was reading to little Jack, he was in a suspender. He was in his suspenders and button up, which I think was also kind of like casual too, because it's like he's helping put little Jack to bed. He's getting to know his future stepson. Mm-hmm. You know, he doesn't have to be you know, and I think he's actually wearing the same outfit now. We do know that when Calls of Heart does repeat outfits and stuff, so it may not be the same scene, but I mean, after he's worked all day in the motorcycle or whatever he was working on, you know, makes no sense for him to just change out of that, go into a suit, just tuck the dude and little boy in the bed. So but nothing's just assigned to just, you know. So I do get what people are saying, because a lot of people were like, including a lot of some of our close friends that we've met through the podcast and through our Instagram lives, have also spoken that they don't want them to change Nathan or Lucas to fit their new roles. Mm-hmm. You know, because now Lucas is the main character.
I don't think you can 100% say that though, because people change. Life. Things happen. You change. You become more this. You become less that. People are not going to stay the same 100% of the time.
And when you go through situations, like, I'm sorry, I've never done it. But, you know, you hear women completely like doing something drastically changed to their hair, their wardrobe, whatever, after a breakup. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of people aren't really liking Nathan's mustache. I've actually grown to like it. Okay. At first I was like, no, please don't. But I've actually grown to like it.
Yeah.
But that is typical after a horrible breakup, heartbreak, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of standard thing to do, is to either, like, dudes tend to either grow mustaches, or if they've always had a beard or whatever, they shave it off. Or they'll do something drastic to their hair too, or they'll get a tattoo, or they'll do whatever. But I'm just saying, that kind of stuff happens after breakups. I've seen people change their personality. I've seen people change a lot of things after they have something drastic like that happen to them. And I'm sorry, but I think we can all agree that something drastic happened with Nathan after hearing that, and especially after he was compared to Jack. I don't think that the writers might try and do it, but I don't think they're just going to be able to leisurely step over that and act like that was never spoken to him. You know, so change is going to happen after stuff like that.
I'm definitely looking forward to season 9, and we have several friends that are done with the show, not planning to watch anymore. We have several other people who have said they're not planning on watching, but they'll still listen to our podcast, which is super sweet. We love y'all support. We have other people that are saying they're not planning on watching until they find out what we think about it, which is, again, very sweet that y'all would trust our opinions that much. But I'm about to say a few things that I in no way mean mean-heartedly. Morgan has no idea I'm fixing to say this.
Okay, now I'm scared.
I'm just going to be shooting straight here. Honest to goodness. So I'm just going to start shooting straight here. I feel like a lot of Team Nathan, not all, we're Team Nathan. I do not think every Team Nathan person has become this. I'm seeing a lot of Team Nathan that is becoming very toxic. I have literally had to go unfollow accounts because they are so toxic. They are so angry and bitter over what happened that they're making false accusations against season 9. This one account that I unfollowed the other day was complaining about the fact that they have recast little Jack in this season. And she was like, of course they did. They had to find a kid that liked Chris. And I was like, okay, hold up. The Taylor twins took a year off filming. That is why they were replaced.
Which is understandable, because last time I checked, they're like, what, 4?
Yeah. 3 or 4, something like that.
Yeah, they're children.
Yes. So but I'm just seeing so much toxic behavior. I'm sorry. Y'all know I'm Team Nathan. Y'all know I love y'all. Again, I'm not accusing every single Team Nathan person of doing this, but a lot of Team Nathan is acting like a bunch of 3-year-olds that can't freaking grow up and let it go.
Yeah.
Okay. It happened. You can't do anything about it. Grow up and get over it. Yeah. Stuff happens.
Or at least just don't talk about it. If it's that heartbreaking to you, if that makes you so angry to ever look at stuff about season 9, if all of that is triggering to you, like me and Kerri went through our own little emotions whenever the finale stopped. We even started trying to gear ourselves towards other shows just in case we didn't like season 9 and we no longer wanted to watch season 9. So we're not faulting anyone for not wanting to watch. The difference is that we just haven't completely cut ourselves off from the show. We haven't went out of our way to talk to tell the actors, actresses, like people, even Brian Bird. You know, I know I posted that little small thing on TikTok. I mean, not TikTok, but Twitter or whatever. Deleted my Twitter because I'm sorry, but Twitter is toxic more than Instagram, and that says something, because Instagram is just as toxic. Yeah, it's toxic because like every other post I've seen, it's like people are still posting about Nathan and stuff, and it's like they're also like just making like you said, false accusations, trying to say like, oh, I already see, like, for instance, like I was saying, like Lucas in suspenders and button ups, like that's Nathan's outfit, like what are you doing, blah blah blah, like, you know. It's
I'm sorry, but if your
life no need for that
wrapped up in a TV show, you might want to reassess your life.
And we know that because we went through that.
Yeah, exactly.
We got deep down into our emotions after it all happened, because we just spent the better part of 6 months of our lives talking about this show, coming on here, making these podcasts that are like at least an hour long because we can't stop and shut up because we're Southern women. Okay, just deal with it. Okay. Anyways, like that was our whole life, because if we weren't on here making the podcast, we were on live streams talking to people for almost until 4:00 in the morning, talking about this show and talking about our theories. We were trying to get interviews with these actors and actresses. We still are. Like that had become literally our entire life. But at the time, both of us, like because of COVID, weren't able to work. We still aren't really able to work as much as we want to. I can't, but like that's a lot of that is just personal stuff going on. That's nobody's business. But anyways, so we had the time to like literally have this show be our whole life. We didn't and I see some people who literally have kids or spouses or have like a life, like school. Like I see some of the like Bella, different ones that have school too. Like telling you have a life after this. Don't let this be so consuming to you that it changes who you are and makes you bitter, makes you angry, and actually get into the mindset that it's okay to go out there and make accusations about these actresses, actors, crew members, like leave other people alone. Okay. Just stop talking about the show. Stop, you don't have to do any of that. Like, what's the point? Yeah. What's the point? Bitterness, all it's doing is worsening it's just making your bitterness and anger grow more.
Which is eating at you. It's eating at you, and it is not making a positive.
It's not going to change anything. It's not going to change the show. It's not going to make them completely take the season 8 finale away. It's not going to make them be like, oh, I'm sorry, here's the new ending. I wouldn't even want that. I would not want them to do that, because Kevin and Nathan Grant, I know Nathan Grant's imaginary, whatever, but like they both deserve better than that. They deserve to have their own love story. And I even said this whenever they were doing in the middle of the triangle. I have always hated the triangle storyline type situation. I didn't like it whenever it was 2 girls fighting over a guy. I didn't like it when it was 2 guys fighting over a girl or whatever. I never liked it, ever.
One other thing.
I get it, but it's like, I'm glad that Nathan's getting his own love story outside of this toxic mess. Because from now on, Lucas and Elizabeth's relationship is always going to be tied to Nathan somehow, some way. It's always going to be tied, and they're constantly going to have to go back and look at and talk about the fact that at one point it was Elizabeth, Nathan, and Lucas. And I'm glad that Nathan's not going to have to do that. If it's Maysu, Faith, whatever.
One other thing that I wanted to bring up, and again, y'all know I'm not on Twitter. I did not see what happened. I have said this repeatedly. I don't want to know everything that happened. I know a lot of people are angry at Brian Bird, for the way he handled things. I'm not saying he should have done what he did. I'm not excusing him at all. All I'm saying is, he who is without sin, let him cast the first stone. Right. I would like to see you go out there. If you think you can do a better job, I challenge you to go out there and make your own show, get 2 hours of sleep a night, write your own show, produce your own show, deal with CEOs, deal with however many thousands of people coming at you, and never say anything wrong.
While also being technically an elderly person. He's like, he's not no spring chicken. He's not in his 20s. That's not, And also, I don't think it was Brian. I think to a certain extent, he still has some say in things, but at the end of the day, you're not the CEO of Hallmark. Yeah. You don't put the final stamp on things. You don't put that crown symbol on everything. They do. So, at the end of the day, I guarantee you his hands were tied with this whole situation. Yeah. Now, I will agree with Kerri. He may not have handled it right, but I'm sorry. We're all human. A lot of the people, in fact, a lot of the people who are calling out Brian have said worse things than Brian has said. It's like, okay, it's okay for you to say it, but it's not okay for him to say it. Last time I checked, if you both were cut right now, if someone cut you on the arm, you'd be bleeding the same color.
Mm-hmm.
You would feel in the same pain. It's no different.
Yep.
So I completely agree with what Kerri is saying. Like, there's way too much toxic, hateful behavior having on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I mean, I've seen it. I've been a part of groups. Me and Kerri were treated horribly by Team Nathan people. So we stuck up for Lucas on a Team Nathan page. So we know firsthand.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying, and we've been bashed by Team Lucas too. So I mean, it's like it's
it's coming after us, okay? But that's just how, like,
yeah,
that's what happens when you're out here and you're showing your face, you're in front of a camera and you're giving your opinions. That's gonna happen.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that neither one of us ever get upset.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there are still times when, like, literally we were gonna get on an Instagram live last weekend. And I had gotten so upset. I was like, I cannot discuss this without going on a rant. And I did not need to do that. So I'm not getting on this live.
Yeah. I had to be careful too. Like, that's the reason why I deleted my Twitter, because I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Twitter was definitely a lot more toxic than Instagram, or at least my Instagram and the people that I was following compared to people that I was following on Twitter. And I did make a post. And I was wrong in saying that they should fire John Tinker and rehire Alfonso. I was wrong in that. So I just deleted my Twitter. I deleted the everything because I was wrong in doing that. And like, people weren't letting it go. Mm-hmm. So I just went ahead and deleted it because I didn't really like Twitter anyways. Instagram is more my speed. Instagram is just more my speed. Okay. It's just more like how I am. And I don't even post anything on Instagram. Most of the time I just use my Instagram to go on lives. That's it. No. But you know, it's this fandom on both sides. It's Team Lucas and Team Nathan both have members that are very toxic and very vocal with their toxicity. And it's not right. And you know, my thing is this, the way I look at it is that when you are a Team Nathan person, you are representing Kevin. Mm-hmm. When you are Team Lucas, you're representing Chris. And I think both of those men would be quite disgusted with the behavior that they are seeing. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that people can't share their opinions, but you don't have to directly go after people that don't have the same opinion as you.
I will never understand people that, like, just for an example, I follow the Bates on Instagram. Because I love Lawson Bates music and whatever. I've never even watched an episode of Bringing Up Bates, but I have met the family. They're super sweet, whatever. And I will see people come on their pages and comment like this disgusting stuff to them. And it's like, okay, if you don't like them, why are you following them? Or why are you purposely coming on their page? Right. Just leave them alone. You don't like them, ignore them. You have that ability to keep on scrolling, to unfollow, block if you want to. I don't care. They're not going to care. I can guarantee you they would rather you block them than comment that stuff to them. Like, what are you accomplishing by tearing somebody down? Right. So for us, that's something that we had to disable comments on our YouTube and our Instagram because people were getting so bad that it was just like, you know, rather than engage this, kind of, if y'all can't be nice, we're just going to cut y'all off because we're not going to tolerate this kind of behavior.
And, you know, we shouldn't even have to do that because that's not fair to the fans that are actually nice and actually know how to conduct themselves on, you know, public platforms. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's not fair to us because, like, we're here sharing our honest opinions, and we're not saying that you can't share your honest opinions. It's just like, it's just a matter of how you do it. Mm-hmm. Like, you know.
And I know sometimes, like, for me, when, like, a Team Lucas person may comment something about how great Lucas and Elizabeth's love story was, it was there all along, how could y'all not see that, blah, 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 type thing, I'll just ignore it because it's like, I've very much stated my opinion. You have your opinion. Nothing I reply to you at this point is going to accomplish anything. So sometimes
it's not going to change their minds.
Yeah. So sometimes for me, it's not that I don't acknowledge the fact that y'all commented. It's that I don't feel that anything I can say is going to lead anywhere but an argument. And I don't care to have an argument. So you're welcome to put your opinion, but that doesn't mean I'm going to engage your opinion. So
at the end of the day, it's just a waste of time and energy, and all you're doing is making your anger and your bitterness worse. Just use your common sense.
Yeah.
Do you ask yourself, is this really going to change this person's opinion? Is this really going to change the outcome of the season? Is this really going to make Nathan get Elizabeth? Is this even going to make Nathan a better character than Lucas, or make Lucas disappear, or, all this kind of stuff? Because we're even seeing people say that they just want Elizabeth and Lucas completely out of Hope Valley. I've been seeing that a ton. And people are either saying that they want Nathan and Allie to move to Brookfield with Abigail and Cody. And it's like, first of all, none of that's going to happen. Sorry, it's not going to happen for many reasons. Okay. Second of all, you commenting that ton isn't going to make it happen either, because obviously, like, me and her literally have a podcast where we talk hours and hours about our opinions and like what we think would be great for the show. But are they watching? Are they listening? No, because this is their show.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're listening, that's cool. But I'm just saying, like,
so if you are, comment, let us know.
Hi. Anyways, but yeah, I mean, but like at the end of the day, this is their show.
Yeah.
Their money is getting sunk into this. Their time and energy is getting sunk into this. Like, it's a lot of money to make a series. It's a lot of money to promote a series. It's a lot of money.
And at the end of the day, they owe you nothing and you owe them nothing.
Pretty much.
If you don't like it, don't watch it. And if you feel like you can do a better job, I can guarantee you any of them would say, be my guest.
Yeah.
Like, I've worked on a set, y'all. I know how stressful this can get. So,
I mean, I haven't, and I can just imagine it not being something that's always fun all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically we said all of that to say this: just be a nice person. If you don't want to watch season 9, cool.
Yeah.
If you do want to watch season 9, cool. Just stop going out of your way to be toxic and mean and destructive.
Yeah.
Okay. If it's making you mad, if it's making you, like, grow out of it. Like, do what you've got to do.
If this is still bothering you this bad almost a year after the fact, you might, sorry, you might want to reevaluate.
Just stop watching the show.
Yeah.
Unfollow everything that has anything to do with the show. Okay, I'm not saying you had to unfollow Kevin, because I understand there's a lot of people out here, or Chris, or whatever. Unfollow the actor. I'm not saying do you, but I'm just saying at the end of the day, if I just absolutely could not stand anything to do with this show, news, clips, posters, trailers, all that, if I just could not stand to look at that stuff, unfollow them.
Get out of the group.
Delete them off your Instagram. Get
out of whatever.
Delete your fan page. Or if you want to make a fan page and like have it separate from you and your personal account, but just don't use it to be destructive and mean and toxic and a bully.
Yeah.
It's not doing anything but harming yourself.
Yeah. And giving
adding toxic stuff into your life. And that's not good. And we don't want that for you guys either, because it's like, we know how that can ruin your life.
Yeah.
And it's not worth it.
Well, and going back to what you said earlier, it's kind of giving a bad name to like Kevin's fans.
Yeah. Because like, I think everyone understands that, like, when all you see are Nathan fans being toxic, they're automatically going to think that, oh, I don't want to be his fan. They're all toxic. I don't want to be a part of that fandom. I don't want to be a part of that group of people. I've seen how people are about certain ships and certain fandoms and stuff, and how toxic they can be. And that's why it's very rare that I tell people what I'm into, because a lot of times they're like, oh, okay, see what kind of person you are. Fully based on the fan base. And I'm sorry, but Kevin and Chris and Aaron and all of them deserve better than that. They worked their tails off through a pandemic to give this show to us. Okay, that is not easy. Kevin, like, I don't know if this for a fact, but like he had to completely switch his schedule around so he can make When Calls the Heart. And as soon as he was done on When Calls the Heart, he had to go and make Heartland, which he didn't do it for season 8. He just did it for season 7, I think, right?
I think so.
Or no, I think he did do it for season 8, but he didn't do it for seson 9.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Pandemic. But as soon as he was done filming season 8, he had to go film for Heartland. He had to quarantine for 14 days before he can even go on set. He did that because he loves this character, he loves this show, and he loves us. And he doesn't deserve for his fans to go out of their ways being toxic. And like him and Chris are friends. Okay, they're friends. Him, Chris, and Aaron, and everyone else, they're all friends. So how would you imagine someone bullying your friend?
I would say in a lot of ways they're almost like brothers. Like, and
yeah,
they remind me of, like, to me, Kevin always makes me think of like the younger brother that talks the older, more serious brother into doing something that's going to get them in trouble. Like, that's just kind of how
that hits the nail on the head.
Which I think Kevin is actually older than Chris, but that's beside the point. That's just kind of the image I get in my head when I think of this. So how do you think they feel for each other with their fans so pitted against each other? Like, dude, I am so sorry. They're, like, geez, is this, I mean, you wonder if it would reach a point that they would go, is this even worth it anymore?
Right. And I mean, this is not Kevin's first rodeo. It's not really technically Chris's first rodeo either, but it is his first role that is very significant.
Yeah.
Where a fan base really does grow. When you are like, I'm sorry, but it's different whenever you're making a movie versus when you're making a TV series, because you develop a character more in a TV series than you do in a movie. Now, if that movie is like a trilogy or something like that, you have a little bit more of a significant ability to grow a fan base based on that one character and the development of that character. But 9 times out of 10, a TV series is what really brings a fan base.
Yeah.
And for me, this is a very significant moment for Chris. And I'm sorry, but I feel bad for him because it feels like it's full of toxic things.
Yeah.
It's tainted. And Chris doesn't strike. It's tainted for him. It is. And I feel so badly for him because it's tainted by the love triangle. It's tainted by this one finale has completely tainted his entire, just by his entire career. Okay, along with this character that I feel like very deeply that he loves and cares about. You can even see a change in him based on his interviews. And I hate that because he didn't deserve that.
Yeah.
And, I do blame the CEO because I feel like that whole situation could have been done better. I don't really care. I speak my mind. I don't hold back. I've never done that. Never will do that. Part of the reason why we call it honest to goodness. But I also blame a lot of the fans, including Nathan fans. And I'm a Nathan fan. But they just deserve better.
Yeah.
So, got my emotional support animal.
Hey,
but
all that to say, y'all, looking forward to season 9. We're proceeding with caution. We're assuming nothing.
And those that are actually looking forward to season 9, for those that are looking forward to season 9, we're going to get a new mayor. We're going to see that whole situation play out, which I think is going to be really funny because we're going to have Lee and Bill and Fiona and Hickam and all that.
We've already seen that one clip where Ned and Florence are like, the results are inconclusive. So
he's like, Bill's just like, Bill is not having it.
What?
Bill is like, yeah, he is not having it. So that alone tells me that this is going to be a very fun mayor race. And then, of course, we've got, Rosemary running a paper. That's going to be interesting because, like, I can imagine her interviewing people and everything for like stories on the paper. And then we've got Hickam doing a pipeline along with gaining help from Fiona. We still there's a lot of stuff that we don't know about her past. We got a huge chunk in the finale that's very mysterious.
Yeah.
That I'm very looking forward to. We've got new characters. We're getting Mei Su, who looks to be a love interest for Nathan, which I actually kind of like. I think I'm gonna like that dynamic there. I think it's gonna be refreshing. I feel like it's a little different.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we're getting Asian representation. Because if you go back and look at a lot of period dramas and period series, you don't get a lot of Asian Americans in period dramas. So I'm glad for that. I'm looking forward to what they're going to be doing with the Canfields, like how they're going to bring Joseph and his family into the whole situation, especially like he's now got a pulpit and a bell for the church. So I can't wait to see them actually have like services in the church. Like there's just a lot of good things. I want you to stop focusing on the triangle. Yeah. That's my goal for season 9, is to stop focusing on what happened because of season 8.
Yeah.
So and plus, like Jack and Kevin even said there's going to be a lot more Mountie stuff, which I'm looking forward to, because like I hope we can actually see like Nathan, do Mountie stuff, Like I will say,
just want to see him shove somebody up against a wall again and face it.
I know I'm not alone in that. There's no way I am not alone, because I have watched that clip way too many times. But I loved it because it showed his intellect and his bronze. It showed him that he had intelligence and bronze, and like to be able to shove. Like, I'm sorry, but Allie's dad was not a little twig. Okay, that dude was.
It also showed his passion and his feelings, like his love for Allie. That was like adrenaline kick in, and
to finally see guys, this will very likely be the season where we finally get Allie calling Nathan dad.
I hope.
I really hope. Yeah. I mean, I do kind of wonder if there's going to be some situation going on with the adoption, because Bill said that it was going to take 90 days for them to get the paperwork finalized and it be official. They did the ceremony, but it's not like officially like on paper, because they still have to like finalize it or something. Now they could very well.
That is one storyline I hope falls through the cracks.
Me too. Me too, because I want it to be official. I don't want there to be no hiccups. Like Nathan and Allie have been through enough. Anyways, so there's a lot of good stuff to look forward to.
Bill,
stop focusing on. Yes, there's still so much more that could still be going on.
I want to find out what else Ned invents.
Or why they are dressed in the red and white striped outfits.
Cute. So cute.
It was really cute, but I'm like, why? They look like they're trying to open up like a
social type thing.
That'd be kind of cool. Like if they opened up like a soda ice cream parlor.
That would be.
Or it's like soda and pop or whatever. Yeah, like pop and ice cream or whatever, and they do that kind of thing. That'd be actually kind of cute. Yeah. I'm ready to just see more of that. And like, Kevin and different ones have kind of teased what we're going to kind of get. Like he even kind of teased like, Nathan's kind of grew a beard now. And there is a barber in town, aka Fiona. We even saw a clip, a little picture, and it looked like Mei Su was in the barbershop. So there might be a likely friendship with that. And she even teased that she was going to get close to Faith and different ones like that. So I'm looking forward to that. Like I'm looking forward to the happy moments. That's what's really been getting me through. Because I'm not going to lie, there have been days where I'm just like, oh, why did it have to end like that? Like, my thing is like going back and like looking back and seeing the stuff that slipped through the cracks or didn't make sense. Scenes between Elizabeth and Nathan that didn't really make sense now because of things that she said in the finale and all of that. My advice, just don't do that.
Yeah.
Try and go in here looking for the positive stuff that is going to happen or has to be discussed.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Nathan kicking Pinkerton butt. Okay. I want them suckers out of that town, and I want Nathan to do it. So
yeah. Now
I want to see, and in fact, I want to see Nathan and Lucas like team up on that. I think Lucas could actually be of some help, because he can.
There was that picture that we saw of Nathan and Lucas standing there like watching something, and Nathan actually almost looked humored, and I was like,
yeah, I'm like, oh,
what's going on here? Like
that photo excited me, because I was like, yes. I hope it's actually Nathan, I hope it's actually Nathan and Lucas actually doing a scene like that and not just them behind the scenes waiting for the cameras to get set up. But either way,
I think Kevin had posted it like from doing ADR.
Oh yeah. I'll have to go back and look. But anyway, still, like any kind of scenes where they're kind of forced to be with together in the same room is interesting.
Well, I mean, I loved the fact that Nathan was at the party. Sorry, guys, we have got to wrap this up. This is probably like 2 hours long. But
typical.
Yeah,
typical.
But the fact that Nathan was at the party for Elizabeth book, like I want to see the three of them become friends.
Yeah.
Like, I want to,
like, if it is
dynamic, it's going to be awkward at first. That. I want to see them. I want to see Nathan be happy for her and for them to actually be able to carry.
But I want to see like the actual growth. Like I don't want to see a whole, like, I don't want to see him completely miserable the whole season. Maybe in the first season, like the first episode or two, have him obviously kind of have longing looks at her or whatever, or just have a little bit of a heartbreaking look on his face whenever he looks at Elizabeth, but slowly see that expression turn into happiness.
Well, and we won't necessarily know because, like I said, time is fluid in Hope Valley, and Elizabeth is just getting back from Hamilton. So there's already been some time passed there for him to have already.
They did say that we are going to see a little bit of grieving with Nathan. Not a lot, but a little. Yeah. And I'm kind of glad because I feel like I don't want them to kind of skip over that.
Yeah.
I want it to be, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want Nathan to kind of tell her off a little bit. But after
that didn't work too well the last time.
Just one time.
Yeah.
Even if he has to go back and apologize. Like, just, But anyways, I do want them to become friends, though. It'd be kind of cute if, like, Masu really is his love interest. And, like, they go on, like, a double date. That'd be kind of cute. Maybe Nathan can, like, like we said, throw the candles and, like it's not... No candles.
If Nathan starts using
excuse me, do you not know about the best? Like, I would love to see Nathan like school Lucas on like fire hazards. Like, do you not know how serious a fire hazard you are causing here? No.
Watch Nathan start using candles on dates. Why is that supposedly so romantic? I don't know. I don't mind a few, but that many is just a little over the top.
Like,
when you got so many candles, you're having to use CGI.
Or whatever. Yeah.
When you got so many candles, you got to use CGI. That might be a bit over the top. But anyway. All right. Well, we are soon, hopefully, going to start recapping from season 1 to episode 1. That's going to be really fun to go back and rewatch. Like,
it's going to be so weird.
It is. It really is.
Like, to see just how drastic everything is. Not even just like obviously the era, because like obviously they're going to be in a different era when at the start versus how they are now, but like how like cameras and like how different like the different directors and like different store like just so many different things back then that they are now.
Yeah.
So
costumes, lighting, all that kind of stuff.
For those of you who don't have like the DVDs, edifyfilms.com does have the DVDs. But if you don't, like, I know a lot of people don't necessarily use DVDs anymore. If you don't have the DVDs and you don't necessarily want to purchase them, because I will say this, they're pretty expensive. Hallmark Movies and Now has an app that you can get on your phone, or you can just go to Hallmark's moviesnow.com and watch season 1 all the way to season 8 for free, or for actually like $5.99 or something like that a month. It's a subscription.
Yeah, it's like a channel subscription. Yeah,
it's just like Netflix, and which I have to say it's not that bad. Like,
I think it is. It's either like $4.99 or $5.99 or something.
It's like $5.99. I think it's $5.99.
And then you get access to all different, like, all the time still delivered.
Yeah, it's not just What Calls the Heart. It's anything Hallmark, like a lot of their movies, all their mystery shows. So
it might not have
everyone want to follow along with us,
but it'll have a lot.
Anyway. So So if you guys want to follow along with us, go on to those 2 different sites, whichever you want to choose, and follow along with us. We'll be starting that soon.
Yep. I know the Hardy's Hotline is like on season 2 doing their recap.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, sorry for all the interruptions and technical difficulties and everything else. What else is new?
If you survived and you actually listened all the way through all of this, thank you.
Yep.
Because you are the real MVP. Because I wouldn't have even known that.
Yeah.
Being honest here.
Yeah, my first episode for my classic podcast turned out like 15 minutes long. I'm like, let's see if I can keep that going.
I guess as long as you don't have me on there, you're fine.
All right, guys. We love y'all. Thank y'all so much. And we'll be back soon. Bye.
Bye.